Monday, August 5, 2024. My name is Fabian Kuya presenting, and these are the top stories. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn urges local authorities to uphold the Local Government Act to promote peace and development. Liberia and United States reaffirm determination to consolidate bilateral ties between the two countries. The Liberia Broadcasting System and China Media Group signed two-year memorandum of understanding to enhance partnership between the two entities.
The parties agreed to exchange and co-produce media contents, including but not limited to news, feature programs, documentaries, dramas, etc. The parties agreed to strengthen technological exchange and cooperation, especially innovation and development in media technologies. The parties agreed to exchange personnel, sending staff to each other media organizations for training and internship.
Away from home, security forces in Somalia's Soitin city of Kismayo seized hundreds of Islamic face veils from female residents. These stories and much more, including sports, the weather report, the news in French. But first, Chris Tao and the news bulletin.
President Joseph Boakai has congratulated the government and people of Burkina Faso on the occasion marking the 64th independence anniversary of that country today, August 5. According to a Foreign Affairs release, President Boakai extended sincere best wishes to Burkina Faso on behalf of the government and people of Liberia. The Liberian leader expressed hope that the cordial ties of friendship and cooperation between the two countries will be further strengthened in the spirit of African solidarity. President Boakai said he looks forward to continued collaboration with Captain Abraham Traoré, President of Burkina Faso, as they work together for the promotion of regional and international peace and security. He prayed that God will continue to endow President Traoré with abundant wisdom and strength as he leads his people to greater prosperity. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn has urged local authorities to operate in line with the law. Vice President Kuhn wants local leaders use the law to bring peace and development in their respective communities and counties. He also called on local leaders, especially superintendents, to ensure peace is maintained in the country. Vice President Kuhn spoke Monday in Ganta, Nimba County, when he launched the Internal Affairs Ministry's National Orientation Workshop. The Liberian Vice President disclosed the Local Government Act is a good instrument for a government decentralization initiative to speed up development, but called for some modifications in the act. Meanwhile, Internal Affairs Minister Francis Umali has vowed to fully implement the 2018 Local Government Act. Minister Umali said the full implementation of the act will shift the governance of Liberia and bring about meaningful developments across the country. He called on local structures to work collectively with the various sectors in their respective counties, including the people who they are leading. The Internal Affairs Minister has warned local structures to be accountable and transparent in the discharge of their duties in line with the arrest agenda of government. Minister Umali said commitment, dedication, and trust are the solid foundation on which the government's decentralization initiative can be achieved. The Liberia Broadcasting System (LBS) and the China Media Group have signed a two-year memorandum of understanding for enhanced cooperation between the two media entities. Signing the MOU, LBS Director General Eugene Fagon said the document seeks to strengthen exchanges between China and Liberia and to boost mutual benefits between the two peoples. According to Director Fagon, the agreement paves the way for enhanced content exchange, technical cooperation, and personal training, among others.
I just want to say to you, thank you for the opportunity for us to work together. I hope this partnership will benefit our two countries and our two peoples.
Dr. Fagon expressed optimism that the collaboration between LBS and the China Media Group will further strengthen after a two-year period. The LBS Director General then thanked the China Media Group for the partnership. Meanwhile, China Media Group Africa Bureau Chief Song Jianin has expressed confidence that the relationship between LBS and the CMG will scale up to new heights. Madam Jianin said China Media Group remains resolute in working along with LBS for shared growth and development of the two entities. The China Media Group Africa Bureau Chief spoke through an interpreter Monday at LBS compound in Painesville.
非常高兴今天能够我们作为中央广播电视总台能够。
We seem very glad that today CMG and LBS create more partnership with signing the MOU.
合作当中会有取得更多的成果。
We firmly believe that we will have a better and prospective future between the cooperation of LBS and the CMG.
Madam Jianin also presented a souvenir to the Liberia Broadcasting System. After the signing ceremony, the China Media Group Africa Bureau Chief was taken on a sightseeing tour by LBS Director General Eugene Fagon. Foreign Minister Sarah Beslow Nyanti has hailed the United States for its continuous bilateral assistance to Liberia. Minister Nyanti made the statement Monday when she welcomed the newly accredited United States Ambassador designate to Liberia, Mark Turner. The Dean of the Cabinet expressed gratitude for the ongoing support provided by the United States to the Liberian government and people. Foreign Minister Nyanti also conveyed appreciation and best wishes of President Joseph Boakai to U.S. Ambassador designate Mark Turner. She assured the U.S. Ambassador designate of the ministry's commitment to supporting his mission in Liberia. Meanwhile, U.S. Ambassador designate to Liberia Mark Turner has reaffirmed the United States' determination to strengthen bilateral ties and cooperation with Liberia. Ambassador designate Turner said the U.S. stands ready to enhance relations with Liberia in trade and other crucial areas. He expressed appreciation to Minister Nyanti for the warm reception. A foreign ministry release said the discussions focused on strengthening the long-standing relations between the two countries and enhancing cooperation at the United Nations and other international bodies. The two officials also pledged to work closely to realize the shared values and principles of the United States and Liberia in contributing to global peace and development. Normal academic activities are resumed at Lofa County University following weeks of go-slow by faculty and staff of the institution. A release said the go-slow was in demand of salary increment and other issues affecting the well-being of faculty and staff of the university. According to the release, CAM returned to the university following a series of engagements by the institution's newly constituted Board of Trustees. The release also quotes Lofa County University acting president Molu Koso as extolling the board and administration for restoring calm at the university. He, however, vowed to work along with relevant stakeholders of the university to address aggrieved faculty members' demands. The permanent representative to the International Maritime Organization, Robert Bade, has disclosed ongoing talks with the UN Trade and Development for investment in the sector. Mr. Bade said the discussions focus on leveraging opportunities to enhance maritime transport, building Liberia's blue economy, trade statistics, and propel development through job creation. He also noted that both teams also discussed strategies on adopting suitable measures to decarbonize the global shipping sector in line with the recent UNTAD's report. According to Mr. Pade, the UN Trade and Development Organization pledged to work along with Lima in assisting with strategies to significantly attract investors in Liberia. The permanent representative to the International Maritime Organization's comments were contained in a dispatch from Geneva, Switzerland. Transitional Justice Working Group of Liberia has backed government's quest to prosecute warlords and alleged corrupt public officials. The group comprises operation of more than 25 civil society organizations established 2003 to promote human rights. Speaking Monday at a news conference in Painesville, the program coordinator of the group, Martin Toh, thanked government for establishing an Office of War and Economic Crimes Court in the country.
For justice and accountability is reaching an irreversible point, which needs to be encouraged and not hindered. Notably, among these tests so far by the government include the submission of an official communication to the Secretary General of the United Nations of the Liberian government's willingness to establish a war and economic crimes court, so as to hold perpetrators of war and economic crimes during the Liberian Civil War accountable and give justice to the thousands of victims and survivors of the carnage.
He, however, called on public figures, civil society actors, and international partners to support the chairman of the court, Councillor Jonathan Massaquoi. Meanwhile, Mr. Toh has pledged the organization's willingness to work along with relevant stakeholders for the full implementation of the court. Former Unity Party Chairman, United States Chapter, Frederick Gibson, has criticized former President George Weah for recent threats in reaction to the corruption case involving ex-government officials. Recently, former President Weah threatened political and legal options to resist the prosecution of ex-officials accused of corruption. But a dispatch quotes Mr. Gibson as describing the former president's threats as counterproductive to the peace and security of Liberia and beyond. The former UP chair of USA chapter also rallied citizens to condemn attempts by the former president and his supporters to circumvent government's good intent of investigating suspected corrupt officials. Meanwhile, Mr. Gibson urged government to pursue impartial and transparent investigation into the corruption case to end decades of impunity in state governance. And a Liberian philanthropist, Emmanuel Kappa, warns the issue of disadvantage youth become a national security concern. Mr. Kappa said drug addicts are a threat to the peace and security of the country if they are not rehabilitated. He noted the fight against drugs should be more holistic to ensure young people are not exposed to the menace. Mr. Kappa, a goodwill ambassador of the Destiny Recovery Program, called for support to institutions buttressing government's efforts in the fight against drug addicts. He urged youth to take control of their future by saying no to drugs and other harmful substances, which when was honored by the Destiny Recovery Program over the weekend in Monrovia.
Grace Tao and the news bulletin. She returns a little later with the weather report and foreign news. One of the big stories of following Vice President Jeremiah Kun urges local authorities to uphold the Local Government Act to promote peace and development. For enhanced partnership between the Liberia Broadcasting System and the China Media Group, the two entities have signed a 2-year memorandum of understanding. The agreement paves the way for enhanced contents exchange, technical cooperation, and personnel training, among others, between LBS and the China Media Group. LBS Director General Eugene Fagon signed on behalf of the system Monday in Pinsville.
Based upon the principles of equality and mutual benefits and through friendly consultation, China Media Group and Liberian Broadcasting System, hereinafter referred to collectively as the parties, have agreed upon the following. The parties agreed to exchange and co-produce media contents, including but not limited